I think I know what this is. You see, Stan, as you get older, things that you used to like start looking and sounding like shit. And things that seemed shitty as a child don't seem as shitty. With you, somehow the wires have gotten crossed and everything looks and sounds like shit to you. It's a condition called being a cynical asshole.
Oh no.
Yes. And there's no known cure, I'm afraid. Everything just seems shitty and everyone starts to seem shitty and everything they say just...
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
Yes, Mr. Sherman, everything stinks.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Come.
Begin! 3 points. Winner.
Leave them to me. I have you not. All too easy.
What?
I've kind of lost control of Star Wars, so it's going off in a different path than what I intended. But the first 6 are very much mine and my philosophy.
Matt Lanter performs this really very emotional scene where Anakin is talking to his dead mother. And Shmi. And he says to her, I have a wife and I want you to meet her.
You would really like her.
You would like her. And,
Yeah.
and Matt performed it very emotionally and really very, very well. And we're about to move on. And I said, got to do that again. And he goes, well, why? And I said, because Padme already met Shmi.
Yeah, they had
in
dinner
the Phantom
together.
Menace. They had food. And I saw Dave kind of take his hat.
Yeah.
And I just remember looking over at Ashley, and Ashley goes, I've never seen someone out-geek Dave Filoni before. And I think that was when Dave was thinking, maybe we keep this guy around a little bit.
You hate to do it, but at the same time, it's hilarious. Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Sith. I am your host, The Fractured Filter. Along with me, as always, my co-host, my friend, my compadre, and all this, Jay Hitman. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm just bottled up with so much emotion over
so many emotions.
I was trying to, as we were doing the intro, I heard what George said about, like, I have to admit I kind of lost control of it. I wanted to say, well, I have to admit I kind of lost control of my mind, and
this continued watching of all these different series, it kind of does it to you after a while, doesn't
no,
it?
it's not even that. It's not even like watching. How do I explain it? It's really just, I guess, I don't know. Maybe you're right. It's not that it's, dare I say, all sad and boring, even though it's mainly just sad and boring. But it's
that
like,
man is truly our spirit animal. And
I
still got to find that clip of him saying that. Perrin is our boy.
when we launch our clothing line, okay, there's 2 shirts that are going to be the premier shirts, and you already know which I know the first one you want to go with, and I'm assuming this should probably be the second, but I don't get it, man. I don't understand. And everybody's probably like, well, you say it every show, Jacob. And you're like, no, right, you're right, I do. But like, dare I say, usually I'm like, I don't want to watch Bad Batch. This is a dumpster fire. Just let me watch Mando. I was the opposite, man. I was like, let me watch Bad Batch because I watched Mando first. And I was like, I was just seething over this episode because and I don't know if you caught them. I'm very curious to see your notes, but there's a lot of things that I caught that I could be reading into, but we all know Filoni loves he's a raccoon.
Yeah,
he's a trash panda.
he's a trash panda. He's the trash panda that'll rob the EU of all of its content. Claim it says, "Yep."
I've stayed off Twitter this week.
That's probably for the best.
Well, because I didn't want any spoilers. I knew with Bad Batch, the release, and again, how stupid, because like we're done, like the season's done, so you really just dropped 2 up, like that makes no sense to me. You could have dropped 1 episode and made it really, really good, and then dropped another episode and equally made it good. Right. But you decided for whatever reason to just drop 2 because apparently 2's a party, 3 I don't know.
Make actual long episodes out of them too to actually fill in what you want to do.
Right.
Hang on. I saw this. Tuscan Bob was in the chat. Hey there, dude.
Oh.
Love the Grogu beatdown. Loop it for days. I found that. I'm just like, when I first found that clip too, I'm like, okay, so where is this going? And then once it started going in sync with the tune, and I'm like, okay, you got me. You won me.
You need to find the one where the tweet that I posted about him putting him in a blender and drinking it.
I'll have to grab that one too.
I think I sent it to. I think I tweeted it at Greg, but yeah, I immediately thought of Greg when I saw that. I was like, oh, he would love this.
Oh yeah.
And then I was at work yesterday, and somebody was drinking a green Starbucks, whatever. And I thought, and I went in where I was at. I was like, "Oh, look, you're drinking Baby Yoda," and somebody got so mad at it.
Don't say that to him about him. How dare you?
I was like, I'm not even a Grogu fan, but I'll drink it with you.
You're right. I've been seeing these gummy Grogus. And there's a part of me that wants to get one, only to record myself taking the giant bite off its head and ripping its head off.
I don't know if Greg said this. I don't know if Greg said this. Somebody said this, was like, somebody made up a good point. Maybe it was, I don't know if it was you, but I think last year we were talking about what happens when this man-child that's 6 years old begins to talk. Like, he's going to be less cute. And then somebody at work was like, well, we would just fall for him harder. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
I doubt. Yeah, like you say, it's gonna ruin the cuteness factor by 11, and he's gonna tank. He's gonna be like the weird, like, random step kid or whatever that gets brought into a sitcom or TV or family show or something like that to try and help the ratings, and just tank it.
Yeah.
I don't see how giving it a voice, because then it's gonna be the question: what do you have it? How do you have it speak? Do you have it speak like Yoda, or do you have it speak basic? So
that's the question, right?
That becomes the question of it, you know. So all right. So here we go. Where do we want to go first? Do we want to go into Mando first?
No,
Bad Batch?
No.
Your blood pressure's boiling for Bad Batch.
Well, my blood pressure is boiling for Mando, but I think that there's so much that I caught and I want to rip. And I guess not really, but I think we start with Bad Batch and then go to Mando.
That's fine with me. That's fine with me. Absolutely.
Hopefully I won't catch a charge tonight as I go out and talk to you, because like I watched Mando last night, but I was like half asleep, and it doesn't matter because like I was still. That's probably why I didn't go to bed at a decent hour, because I was just seething watching this just utter dualtishness. Like, you know, here's the thing: Disney is DSF or DSW and DFL. They have done some shenanigans.
Oh, it's absolute shenanigans.
And they're known.
That's putting it so kindly.
They're known to. I want to know first of all, before we start, who wrote this, because Filoni, as always, or Favreau. I think them two were on the credits, but I want to know who the hell wrote this story, this specific episode. No, Mando.
Oh, Mando. Let's see. Let's get the information from the IMDb's. That was 21, The Pirate. Yar. Apparently, writers is Jon Favreau.
Oh, boys of dear. Okay. Right.
Although with Mando with the Zeb and Filoni in the crowd and everything, you'd expect that it would have been written by Filoni to wank himself off harder.
Yeah.
But nope.
Well, we'll start with Bad Batch.
All right. Bad Batch it is. Oh God. I mean, what do you I mean, this is the funniest thing. Okay, so episode 15, The Summit. I just find this whole thing particularly hilarious. This is your last 2 episodes that you're going to be going into for this for ending this season, and it's I mean, I don't know what was this was probably one of the biggest wet farts that it was, because it just was nothing. Each one was just meh. You know?
Yeah.
So I mean, the whole point is the Bad Batch is wanting to. They got the message, and they're going to go and try and go in a roundabout way to find Crosshair's location by going to what is basically a summit, where Tarkin is bringing in Hemlock and a bunch of other Imperials for this little meeting. I mean, this is it's like, where do we start on this? Because I mean, the meat of it was, like some of the, I don't know if you could say that, was the main meeting with the Imperials, right?
Yeah.
Because that's where Tarkin is finally back into the picture after being MIA. We also then get, of course, a reference to Rogue One, because Krennic was there, which I find particularly hilarious, considering they only gave him
he's commander, not director, and 3. Yeah, commander. Not he hasn't been promoted yet to director. Krennic, and he's got basically 2 lines.
Yeah, which is funny because apparently they got the actual actor to reprise the role, and all they do is have him say 3 lines, and then that's it. Bebop and Rocksteady show up too. Man, if only they would at least liven things up just a little bit. No, I mean, this episode was like the cameo extravaganza, because also freaking Saw Gerrera makes his reappearance. Which, I mean, hey, that is probably close to Bebop and Rocksteady, right?
Literally.
I mean, you get Pringle Brain, Wrecker, and Saw Gerrera. There you go. You got Bebop and Rocksteady. There you go.
Who's the guy that did the concept art? Who worked closely with George? Roy, not Roy. What was his? His last name was started with the M. I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, all the concept art for the original Star Wars and stuff.
What is up with these helmets? What is up with this car? Isn't this like a close rip off some concept art that he used to do, and then they just totally just destroyed it?
Well, that's Ralph McCreary.
What's that?
McCreary. Ralph McCreary.
Yeah. Ralph McCreary.
Yeah, that's something that Filoni does like to do, is loot even from old concept arts, because that's how he got that Zeb character, was from old concept art.
I love the old concept art. I think 9 out of 10 times.
Oh yeah, some of it's beautiful.
In my biased opinion, I think 9 out of 10 times they should go with concept art. But I feel like, again, this is another thing where Filoni's well, I'm not gonna hire anybody. Obviously there's nobody that I can hire that can do it, so I'm just gonna go like take from recruit. I don't know. I guess I'd have to 100% verify that this was, but I believe these stormtroopers are from an old concept art that he did.
Yeah, their look is
McCreary,
yeah. Greg.
Yeah, this is just one, and then it's like,
that's what basically what I think I made that point when they first popped in when we were reviewing Bad Batch, the first season, because I had never watched it, and I was like, oh, they basically look like the old concept art of the stormtroopers from that.
The one person or the one cameo that they missed was Luthen. It would have just been a, yeah, there's Krennic, which I'm surprised because like Rogue One was just an absolute just terrible movie. I mean, the only good thing about that movie was probably 12 seconds of just Vader just cutting everybody, and that was it.
Yeah.
And it was only that because, and it was again nostalgia, but it was probably close to 30 seconds. I'd say. Right. Well, one where he's choking the guy out, I'd say was pretty cool. Just because
I had to say though, it's funny that we didn't, when they were first flying in, they had the codes to get in.
Can we talk about that? How stupid. Okay, this is what irritated me about this is like they're immediately I'm sorry, I
transmitting the codes. Yeah,
they're immediately transmitting the codes. But let's say, don't you remember in Return of the Jedi where?
Well, that was gonna be my point. Was that I was really
about this.
Well, what I was expecting was them to basically was to have the reference of it's an old code, sir, but it checks out. Like I was waiting for that line,
and dare I say,
it wouldn't have surprised me one bit if they did that.
Isn't the Marauder? You would think that these guys would, I don't know, be familiar with their ship, like
change ships.
They're hunting these guys. Would they not know? Like, oh, this is a Marauder class, whatever.
Well, apparently they weren't looking out the windows to see what ships were flying by.
Oh, I apologize. Their sensors must have not been working that day. Nobody was manning the radar or the whatever. There's no excuse. Oh God, that whole scene, like it's an old, yeah, exactly, Fred. It's an old code, sir, but it checks out.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't have been surprised one bit if they had that as a line of dialogue.
Vader knew it was Luke. He 1000% knew it was Luke. Fight me on this. Like he knew, he felt like
he knew in the Force,
and that's why he let him through.
But this is like called we actually got codes.
It's so convenient. It's so convenient. Like we're gonna transmit this code, but nobody's gonna identify yourself. 2, transmit your clearance code, and 3, actually check the code. And then you're not gonna have anybody like. Is this like? I forgot the amount of stormtroopers that are on this Venator Star Destroyer are the same amount of. Equals the same amount of people that were protecting Aldhani, about 40. How silly of me. And they all were on lunch at this time. Nobody was manning the bridge. And here's the thing. There's 3 of them. There's 3 Star Destroyers.
Right. In orbit, yeah.
Like, if they got by one, like, this is the empire that Disney has created. Just a bunch of just
idiots.
Heads up your rear. Nobody like a sand crawler could be floating past them and nobody was asked a question.
Yeah, basically. So yeah.
I'm sorry. You're just flipping stupid. And where did they get the code? Where did they get the code?
In Disney Star Wars, the Empire changed out all their radar systems and replaced them with Gaydar. Yes, that's about it. But so I guess the ship was clear, so they didn't catch any.
I'm so glad Greg's here. Thank you for coming on, Greg. Like you're making my blood pressure level out, and then some.
I mean, the funny thing is, like, they just can't. I forgot how. So maybe you can refresh me. How did they find out about this summit again and everything? Because I completely forgot.
They didn't. I don't know. I don't think they said. No, they said. Well, no. One, they didn't. Of course, again, they didn't explain how they knew, but they said that Tarkin was on how Eridu.
Were they following him or were they following?
Well, that's the
Hemlock?
thing. How they find out Tarkin was there? They were following. They. I think. Oh, I'd have to go back, but like Tarkin was there, and then they assumed Hemlock was going to be there, and they were going to put a beacon on Hemlock.
Yeah, so their whole thing was breaking into this place to get a transmitter on Hemlock's ship, so then they could follow him back to wherever he was to find Crosshair. I mean, the whole lot is what I was surprised by was that they could even do a stealth mission, considering they couldn't even sneak into Dooku's place to steal what they tried to steal there. Like the idea of them doing a stealth mission is laughable, considering all the failures of missions they've had.
Yeah,
you know. But there was one thing that did kind of catch me was that during their little meeting with Tarkin and everything, I was actually shocked by a Imperial that was talking good about the clone troopers, that actually talked them up about being, effective and useful and stuff like that. But then, what's funny is Tarkin he goes about making the point of the clones and their unpredictability and strong gain of individuality when paired with the Jedi. But I'm like, but the Jedi are gone. So what's the worry? You could basically keep them programmed within the matter of which they were and keep them as good, loyal soldiers. So what? You don't have to worry about the Jedi anymore. And if you got Vader running around, which we haven't really seen Vader yet, but I mean, he would be the main source of keeping them in line. So again, where's the issue on the clones? I'm not seeing it personally. But yeah, I thought was at least like, oh, that was like, oh, so there was somebody that acknowledged the clones as being, good for what they had them as. So that's when they then quickly introduced Krennic and they mentioned Operation Stardust, the whole Death Star thing. But again, it was just so funny that they get to him and then he's off. He's gone.
You brought up a good point. Stardust. This was never in canon.
No.
Referenced in canon, correct? Nothing that I've seen.
I think the Death Disney. Star was referred to something else.
Not
Stardust. No.
Stardust. Wasn't Stardust Goldust's brother in the old WWF?
I actually think you're right. Cody Rhodes,
brother, Goldust, Stardust.
I think you're right. Hang on.
I think it was Goldust. I think it was because he.
I know Goldust was his brother. Yeah,
but he'd always like inhale and then like just
it's Stardust. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Dear. I don't think there was any relation, but maybe there was. Maybe whoever wrote Rogue One was is a WWE fan. Who knows? But they're breaking in. It's like, oh great, Pringle Brain sending the little girl on a stealth covert mission. Brilliant. But I suppose he has a point with her being the smallest to get by things. And she probably has the most plot armor. And my brother brought this up. And really, are we still having her run around with a stupid bow and arrow?
Yeah.
And this is something that he and I talked about too. And what is it with this sort of, I don't know if you want to call it a trope, but what is it with the young girls or girl tier characters that all seem to have that seem to be given a bow and arrow? You have Omega.
Surely
you have
freaking Hunger Games, are you?
So you have Omega with a bow and arrow. You also have had Alloy from oh god, now I forget. Horizon Zero Dawn, Lara Croft in the rebooted Tomb Raider. She even has a freaking the first game was her with a bow and arrow and crap. Ellie from The Last of Us. And I want to say there's been more. There's been some others, but I'm blanking on some of them. But those have been like certainly. But like you said, the Hunger Games chick. I mean,
and Miko, Oliver Queen's sister from DC.
And then this is like, so what's the point of this, especially when they're in these tight corridors and everything like that? When having a blaster pistol would be much more advantageous, especially for being able to fire much faster.
Can I just bring this up without like blowing a blood vessel?
What's that?
Why are they still stunning these stormtroopers and they're not even clones? Like this may have been the only like the one episode where like I actually saw them possibly start shooting back, but they're still using stun grenades and stun guns. Why aren't you killing them?
Right, because I mean they're more than happy to try and kill them. So it's
but they even with the stormtroopers that are not clones, they're still stunning.
Right,
and they're throwing stun grenades. What?
Yeah, like, I don't quite understand it myself. I mean, I just kind of
this Omega chick is like literally is like the how quick she fires this bow puts Oliver Queen to shame, puts the Green Arrow to shame.
I guess that's the advantage of it being like a weird laser bow thing. It still seems weird though. It just still seems really weird that
it just gives a very High Republic weapon feel.
Yeah. Ranged weapons for girls versus men with melee weapons makes sense. Not relevant in a world where everyone is using ranged weapons. Yeah.
I just don't get it.
It's like I said, it's a weird thing that we've noticed with it. It's like, why? Especially with a bow and arrow that requires a lot more precision and good like arm strength too to pull that bow. I mean, that's no messing around.
Did the guy that voiced Maul do Hemlock? Is that why you played the clip?
No, I played the Sam Witwer clip because of him pointing out how he quote unquote. I mean, I found that came up thanks to the Sentinel. He'd posted it on Twitter, and it was just more funny of it was just more of like somebody quote unquote out nerding Dave Filoni. And I was like, I'd be willing to bet there's been more, as I said, I was like, I'm curious on who else has out nerded Dave Filoni in the office sphere. Like I know, like, yeah, Greg here, Alora, OG Star Wars, freaking Tim from Spacing, they easily can out nerd Filoni. I have no doubts about that. But it's just more like in that sphere, Sam Witwer, other people that are doing work there. How many people have actually probably out nerded Dave Filoni at any given time? And that was and I just like that. I just thought it was just funny. Just the dime store cowboy getting shamed from somebody else that you maybe wouldn't figure have the knowledge to do so. Oh, okay. The real answer: bows are cool since Lord of the Ring movies. Yeah, basically, yeah. That's basically it. So back to the I still think it's stupid.
You could
give her a freaking blaster, please.
You could pretty much wrap it up as to they found out about a meeting without telling us how they found out about a meeting.
About a meeting, yeah.
Went to the meeting, met Saw.
Yeah, they just happened to run into Saw, who was on his own mission.
But here's the other thing: did they not blow up? Oh God! Okay, just continue.
Yeah. The funny thing is, like, I even said in my notes, "Wow, what a freaking coincidence! Saw Gerrera is there." Really? It's just.
And then they blew up all the ships.
Yeah.
The beacon.
Well, it's like we're fighting this empire. That is only how old now? You guys have not expressed exactly how much time has passed for this. I am still wondering the exact time frame because as stupid as it is, Mando, we know 2 years have apparently passed. What's the timeline between seasons 1 and into 2 for Bad Batch?
That's just 2 years that he spent with Luke. That's not including from when it started to now.
Yeah.
So it could be more. Because he was with Mando, he was with Din Jughead for a period of time and then went to Luke. So whatever that time was that he was with Din Jughead from Luke, you got to account for that too. So how many rotations that was, I don't know.
Well, and then he just has this clown Saw Gerrera that apparently went from fighting the separatists to now immediately turning around and fighting the Empire. It's like, but where was the time to actually like have some hatred towards them? Although I guess they kind of hurried that up with the crosshair with the new troopers and stuff.
It's also very, very interesting that they bring in Krennic and Saw, but Rogue One obviously hasn't happened yet.
Well,
so
no. God, I completely forgot they were both. Even Saw was in Rogue One. It's been so long since I've watched that stupid movie.
So this show is just now. So like, what are they? So like, their time.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Yeah,
I hate these people sometimes. Just despise and loathe.
That's interesting too. It's like you bring two characters that were in Rogue One, and you're talking about the Death Star.
So yeah, funny that. But the question becomes, because they don't explain how Saw knew about this location either. He just kind of pops in.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, so I started thinking, because Hemlock was acting like a squirrely little son of a gun. So I thought maybe he leaked the information or was trying to maybe take out some of the regional governors. So he leaked this information to Saw, but then that's giving them more credit than they deserve on actually maybe creating some real tension or something.
Oh yeah.
But no, because then it's just called Saw pisses off and we don't see him at all after that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but then like it is, everything in that base goes to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah.
They blow, and thanks to Saw and all of his explosives, they lose the tracking on the one ship that they wanted to be trying to find. Yeah. But then that was it. That was kind of the end of the episode, because then they were just kind of fighting their way out.
Yeah.
Things explode. All that junk
goes kaboom.
And all I could really say was, okay, at least that episode was quick.
It was very quick.
That was at least the saving grace of that one.
But I think you called it when you said, well, we'll get to the next episode, but you definitely called it.
Yep. Greg here saying, I don't memorize easily referenced details, so I'm not sure I'd out-nerd anyone. I wouldn't forget multiple scenes in Phantom Menace, though. Well, from a certain point of view, right? It depends on what yeah. But I mean, just memorizing moments can be considering nerding out. So
yeah,
the bar is lowered a lot. And why doesn't he have an animated lazy eye? Yeah, where's their attention to detail, man?
Yeah, I mean that's true.
But no, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have the.
He hasn't lost. He hasn't lost it yet.
I guess he hasn't gone through enough age to do it.
Yeah.
Really? Hey, Brandon, how's it going? Krennic's voice was recreated by AI tech like James Earl Jones's Vader voice in Kenobi
Really?
show.
Who was the guy that played Krennic?
Huh? I didn't realize that they. See, I don't like that technology.
He sounded
creepy. It's weird.
It sounded pretty close though.
I mean, so did the Vader voice was close-ish too, but
ish. But you can always tell.
But
true fan knows.
I thought it was actually. I thought they actually brought him in.
That's interesting.
I mean, like it was his only for like 3 lines. So I mean, I guess
Literally.
it doesn't surprise me that hey, let's just use some AI to. Yeah, that's gonna get to some really weird and crazy stuff. I mean, I see AI as a good tool for certain things, but man, it's just being able to do that sort of thing just kind of gets a little weird and kind of creepy.
Yeah. So I guess like the next was he not referenced on it?
What's that?
Was it actually AI?
I don't know. I don't know how to find out exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounded like the guy that I mean, like it.
Yeah, because I mean, the only thing I could find is like for trivia, saying that they've lent their voice talents to their characters, but otherwise, I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know where to look for that sort of thing.
Oh well.
But yeah, that's so on then Plan 99, the next episode. I mean, basically for a big portion of it, it was still a bunch of pew pew action going on. They brought in some TIE fighters to shoot down the cable car that they were trying to escape on.
What were those? What were they? They were from Return of the Sith.
Oh, the kind of proto ties. Yeah, they're from. They were from Revenge of the Sith and stuff.
Yeah, because I found it interesting that like so the Coruscant Guard, which I always thought they protected the Emperor, were protecting Tarkin.
Possibly. I think they kind of acted as escorts.
What's that?
I said I think they kind of acted like escorts and stuff. So yeah.
So I don't know, but Davy obviously would know better. Which I told him to hop on the show. He said, "Well, I've been working." He says he works doubles on Saturdays. I was like, "Well," because he thought, obviously thinks it's a fantastic show. Poor bastard. So I invited him. I was like, "Well, hop on." So, but
hopefully he's catching the replay.
I didn't mean to call you bastard, Davia. So I did, and I didn't.
No. So yeah, they have the whole moment with the cable car getting blown up. And this is something that I would have figured would have been the big cliffhanger for the final episode, because yeah, they ended up quote unquote killing Tech.
Yeah,
because he falls to his death.
Well, so we think.
We think.
Nobody's ever dead fractured in Star Wars.
Exactly. And like I even had in my notes, I still haven't seen him go splat. Till I do, I doubt Tech is actually dead.
Here's the thing.
Even part of my notes, even part of my notes was Tech will legitimately die, or it's going to be a giant fake out. So
I think it's going to be a fake out.
I think it is too. I think he's going to get shown in like season 3.
Well,
if they ever get to it, and we'll be part of a trailer.
We don't know if there's going to be season 3 because they're going to go live on that Hawaii planet, Maui.
Hey, they remember ties exist. That's an improvement over Kenobi show. Anything is an improvement over the Kenobi show.
It's true.
Anything.
I don't think Tech's dead.
No, I don't think so either. I was waiting for the. See, that was the thing. Like, even the ending to this episode was a giant freaking wet fart, and I was like, okay, you didn't surprise me. Now, if they did, like, yeah, that could have been their bigger, like, showing tech in a Bacta tank. Okay, that might be a little bit more, but it was also expected. So, whatever. It was.
I don't think he's dead. I don't think they'll kill him off.
No, I don't think so either.
I still think Crosshair is going to be one of the. And I'm surprised they didn't. Okay. Whatever. We'll get to this episode.
But yeah, well, so and then then they for some reason went back to Sid. Lord knows why. Why they decided now is going to be the time to go back to the greasy alien.
It's so
lizard.
Predictable. It's so predictable.
It was stupid. It was stupid because they were already on. Why didn't they go back to their little island planet? That would have made more sense. Like, why not go back there?
For whatever reason, and again, I don't think they, unless I missed it, I don't think they explained it, but the original robot that was from season 1 with Omega was supposedly on Ord Mantell. It's so stupid.
Right, for them to get all healed up and patched up and everything. But again,
why a normal robot? Why
not just go back, take the robot, and get the hell out of there? Leave Sid. Don't stick around to her. What the stupid?
I don't know why you need one specific robot to heal you, but again, maybe it's like, buying a freaking, like a Volkswagen GTI or a Volkswagen Golf R that's made in freaking Austria, and you need to have German actual parts to fix it.
Oh God!
You were born and raised on Camino, so you need a real Caminoan flipping robot to do. It's so stupid. And again, this is what happens. We sit here and we try to justify and quantify why they do stuff. Like, why does this draw? It's just nostalgia.
That's basically at this point what they're relying upon is people to fill in the blanks for them. That's why they put out these paper thin scripts, and it's just called, the fan base will probably fill it in for us, so we don't have to do a whole lot of work. It's like, what are you?
I guess Star Wars Theory was actually right for.
God, what was he right about?
I think he said that he thought. Well, we were probably right before him because you and I were talking about how Sid was going to betray them, but I think he had said
they telegraphed it in that episode. Yeah. When it was when they were talking about, you can't trust Sid, you can't trust Sid, you can't trust Sid. Oh, thanks. Okay, I guess we can't trust Sid. What the hell? We'll keep going back to her. Sure, it's fine. No, exactly. She ends up acting all shifty too, and I was like, has she finally betrayed him? Yep, she finally betrayed him to the Empire. They're coming for Clone Force 99.
But here's you knew it when you saw the Venator Star Destroyer show up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you bastard. You slimy bastard.
You slimy lizard face cretin, you. So, and then even Hemlock personally shows up to take them in.
Do we still establish whether Hemlock is supposed to be sci-fi? Do we, is that what you brought up?
No, I never brought that up.
Well,
I just said he was the creepy, weird scientist, dude.
No,
or trying to be creepy and weird. He comes off more as kind of. But this is again, my Sheefster brought this up. He's like, it's like this guy is on tranquilizers.
Yeah,
that's basically the impression we got was like this guy is like constantly on tranquilizers because
he reminds me of. Now, this is not how Scarecrow was in the. And portrayed in the comics, but he kind of gives me a very Scarecrow vibe, like Christopher Nolan's rendition of Scarecrow.
He kind of made me more think of at least though his line delivery made me think of more of Alan Rickman playing Snape.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
very droll, very drawn out for some of his dialogue. Is like, dude, you can kind of speed things up a little bit.
I said
you got some energy. I don't know.
I said Dr. Crane. I said Dr. Crane because there was a couple episodes ago where he's like inhaling this toxin.
Right. You brought that up for that episode from last week. Yeah.
Alluded very much to like fear talk, like he's immune to it.
Right.
So I don't know, but again, I think I'm going to tell you why I believe that when we get to Mando, because it's not a theory, but the proof is in the pudding. Here we sat at the dinner table. So,
yeah. So, like I said, they should have killed the damn lizard. Sid should have been, head on a pike, gotten rid of her. But
where did they put in that Mantell pop?
I don't know.
Because that's probably why they went back.
So yeah, and so now this was another thing. When brought in, Hemlock like throws Tech's goggles in front of Hunter, if I remember right.
Which makes it.
They probably collected the body, right? But he claims, "Oh, this is all we found." I'm calling lies.
No,
he's alive. He's gonna be back, especially since they started.
How crazy would it be if I told you that he was actually in the episode laying by Crosshair? Would you believe me?
Oh, I didn't see him, but I wasn't really paying attention. I'll admit.
No,
was he?
Yeah, no, but wouldn't that be something if I told you he was?
I mean, I would have pulled up the episode and checked just to be sure.
No, he wasn't. But yeah, that's
you got me, April Fools.
Yeah, April Fools. No, but
you're like, no, I was just trying to mess with you.
Yeah, so, no, but I think that's why he's still alive.
Yeah, they collected his body. He's gonna be back. So I laughed because the Republic Commando got the jump on Omega, and so they held her up, got her brought in. They certainly magically got out of that bit of an imprisonment. Oh yeah, they quickly and easily got out of the low level of confinement they were in from the Empire, which again just showing how stupid the freaking Empire is at this point. And I said in here, all roads are leading to the sequel trilogy with this clone work for Palpatine's personal project. They mentioned Palpatine's personal project, which is going to be leading not just Mandalorian, but they're even using this stupid show, The Bad Batch, to explain things and lead into the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
So yes, their quote unquote big cliffhanger was, the assistant to Hemlock, she's a clone. She's an Omega tier clone.
You called that, and I didn't even. I was like, no.
I said on Twitter, I'm like, I'm not the most observant mother fricker out there. Okay, I don't catch on to a lot of things, but this to me felt telegraphed as hell. And as soon as they started showing them with Hemlock and everything, I'm like, she's gonna be another genetic abomination, isn't she? An Omega tier genetic manipulated individual. And damn it, I was right.
You were. I stand corrected.
I feel good.
I guess I just didn't. I don't know. Hear it? I don't know.
I just now kind of checking the chat really quick. Greg again. It's Disney. Even if he went splat on screen, he'd be back. Yes, he would.
I think they're too valuable to kill off.
Yeah, basically. Live action Ahsoka will use the bullshit between ass cheeks to plug him into her show. Bullshit between ass cheeks. I like that. Okay, that's good. I like that. Yeah, I mean, the whole, from what we've heard for the Ahsoka show too, is it's gonna be nothing but world between worlds nonsense. So, Brendan again coming in. Not gonna lie, but I thought Echo was the one to kick the bucket before they revealed it was Tech.
I've heard people say that
Tech will show up again, but as a test subject in season 3. I'm sure he will. I'm sure, like I said, they will use a lot of when they start dropping trailers, 10-1, there'll be shots of a bacta tank and a shadowy figure, much like what they've done with the first trailer for the new Jedi Fallen Order game, Sacrifice or whatever the hell it's called. I forget. Survivor? Yeah. I don't know.
Survivor. That's already out, isn't it?
No, it's not out yet. I think it's getting ready to release.
Are you sure? Because I thought I saw what's his face? What's his name? Theory.
Oh, Theory? Was he playing it?
Yeah.
Huh. I haven't seen it pop up on Steam, so I wasn't sure. Maybe he got
There
an
was
advanced review copy or something.
Oh, probably because he's
But yeah, I'm willing to bet that when they start putting out trailers and stuff, you'll get a shot like that, and it'll show it'll be tech gonna be in, and it'll eventually they'll either reveal it in the trailers, giving away plot because they're stupid like that, or they'll save it and just hint at it, and then once the first episode of season 3 will get confirmation. Or Hemlock will turn Tech into a clone assassin, like how Bucky Barnes became the Winter Soldier. Maybe so with the whole Hemlock thing, he's definitely seems to be. He's been collecting clones, and I'm guessing repurposing them to some degree. So there's been something going on over there. He's been up to some shenanigans. Maybe he but I don't know. I don't think he's keeping the clone templates. I think he's like liquefying them and using their genetics for repurposing of some kind, for new variations or something else.
You think?
I think so. But I might be making them sound more like cool and sadistic than they actually are probably being. So
yeah, I don't know.
And I just want to give a quick shout out to Rumble right now. We've got 11 people watching over there. Holy heck. Hello, Rumble. Thanks for being awesome.
That's awesome.
And again, Tuscan Bob, Greg, thank you for being here. Brandon, thank you. Much appreciated.
Shout out to you guys. Yeah, that's awesome. You bring it. I don't know. I don't think they're that smart, honestly. Just my
like
opinion,
I said, giving them too much credit than they deserve.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, I agree. I don't think.
But I just had to laugh at the fact that I was actually right about her being an Omega tier clone. We're sisters. Oh no shit.
I'm more mad about that because I was like, there's no way he's pegging this. But yeah, well, you sure did.
Lo and behold, I mean, I was starting to
How
have
did you
some
even get it though? How did you even?
Like I said, the voice and the look of her was kind of what to me what was like she was gonna, and I could have sworn there was 2 of them, but I guess my brain is misremembering. But
2 clones,
2 of her, yeah, 2 like she was like twins at first, but like there's just been the one now.
She looks nothing like flipping Omega.
No, she doesn't. But hair. But it was the accent that I think to me gave her away a little bit, and then just like I said, the way she looked more akin to the darker skin of like some of the other Jango Fett clones.
Yeah.
So that was kind of where I was like drawing that parallel, and I was just like, and it just. For some reason, there's something about it. My brain was just going, there's something off here. So yeah.
Like, I'm your sister. I'm like, where have you been all my life? Which is interesting because, you say that now, and I guess it kind of makes sense because it's like, was she trying to save Crosshair's life or trying to?
Well, that was the curious thing about that, right? Because we talked about that.
Did that make you think, or did you had already? I think probably.
I had already. No, I think I mentioned it that episode, but I had been thinking about it for a little bit. But when we talked about the episode, I brought it up for my theory on my own little theory.
Yeah.
But at least that was in relation to what was actually going on, not a bunch of
that now makes sense though.
Right. Yeah. Well, but the thing is, like, I there was still some duplicity to the whole thing of her letting Crosshair out, because I think there is one hand, yeah, she was trying to earn his trust, but on the other hand, was doing what she was told by Hemlock, because Hemlock was like, basically acting old James Bond villain coming out and
Yeah.
you know, all set up, and everything. So, but yeah, so now she's either gonna be trying to worm out anything she can from Omega, but yeah, I don't know, but regardless, the better way to have ended it would have been with Crosshair dying or Tech dying. If they were gonna kill him off, that should have been like the way to end it.
Yeah.
And then that would have been done.
I just don't see it.
But I'm just like,
so Davioso, I think he said, I don't want to misquote the guy, but he was like, it makes more sense for them to kill off Tech because he's been given the most character development. But why? I guess
Tech?
Yeah.
Only in like the last couple of episodes they've kind of been touching on a little more for him.
Well, I'm just saying.
And they've been giving more development to Crosshair than they have any of the other batch members. Now they've been kind of like forcing that little romance between Fee and Tech. But
maybe I don't want. Maybe I don't want. It was one of the two. I'm pretty sure he said Tech. But I mean, why would you kill off a character that you've been developing the most?
Well, it's for that big shock factor, right? Because you've possibly grown attached to the character that they've really been putting a focus on and stuff like that. You're rooting for them in some ways, especially like in terms of Crosshair, who's now
what the hell was where was freaking Echo with the Marauder when the boy was falling? Like, where was the Marauder at during this whole episode?
He was there with everyone, so he couldn't.
That's right. Never mind. I missed that.
Well, I'm just surprised that why didn't they keep somebody with the ship?
Well, they don't lock the ship, so let alone why. But no, that's very good. Gonki could have flown the ship.
Yeah, their stupid droid. Why didn't they have the droid flying that thing?
Oh. And I like it. And the other thing I didn't understand is like, well, they had to go to Ord Mantell. Why? They made it sound like Omega was like dying. Like, oh, we gotta go to Ord Mantell because we gotta get her to the one place where that however he said it was like, was it was it just like you needed a Kaminoan droid to heal her, or you just needed to go to Ord Mantell for whatever reason? Like it's like, to your point, it's so stupid because like Sid is gonna betray you, so why go back there? Like, you even said that you were cutting ties with Sid, so why did you go back?
Yeah, I didn't understand that one bit. I'm just like, why go back there? If you're already wary of her, why? I mean, unless Ord Mantell was supposed to be the closest location to them. Otherwise,
but it made it sound like she was dying. You just bumped your head like you're good. Like, why are you? Like, you're fine.
Yeah, I don't know the exact extent of the damage. It was all like a bunch of kind of. They really did what they could to try and mask what was actually going on. So,
yeah.
I don't know. That like it was between the both episodes. It was probably the weakest ending for a season, especially to have. I mean, they had no build up, so it shouldn't surprise me any. The whole season itself, the whole season 2 has been nothing but fillers. Nothing but fillers.
That's what I'm saying, though.
2 episodes which were okay because Bail Organa was not being a complete incompetent boob, and we had Sheev make an appearance.
Literally, that's the only.
That's
it. Only... There's no other reason why they were good. That's it. Period. End of story. End of discussion. Thanks for coming. Bye. Have a good day. That's it. 2 episodes out of 18 episodes. Let me say this one more time for those that are listening. Out of 18 episodes, you had 2 that were decent. And I can't even believe I'm saying decent. But they were decent because you brought Chief. But let me remind you that the Sheev that they brought back, or the Sheev of Disney, is not the Sheev of canon. And I feel dirty for even saying that it was good. But it got, good on you. You got me. Had no idea that was his music, but I knew when he was kind of like, oh, this is Sheev. He's coming back.
Yep. Oh God. I can only just say at least we don't have to be. We aren't. Although now it's called. Okay, so what's gonna be coming next?
Are they going to do season 3? That's the question. They do a season 3.
Ooh. I mean, I don't know how well this has been performing, so. I mean, I haven't seen two, but then again, I don't follow all the circles, so I don't know if anybody has been talking about this show a whole lot, but it hasn't seemed to have moved the needle much. But
Well, you
again,
can't. You can't just leave. That's the thing, though. You can't just leave this. You can't leave this season.
But I'm sure they will do another episode.
Wait, hold. What do you mean another episode
or another season? Sorry, I'm sure they will.
Oh. I'm just saying, I don't know how you leave it like this. He's got Omega. Like if they, I mean, this would be very, how do you say it? Like Paul Kemp's Deceived novel. Like if you just leave it like this, just on a cliffhanger,
right? Well, that was a proper cliffhanger.
Oh, I'd still disagree, but yeah. So I don't know. I don't necessarily want a season 3 because I don't want to watch it, but I don't think you can. I don't think you can end it on this.
Well, no, and I don't think they will. I think that
no.
But the question becomes: is how long is this going to be? Is it going to take for them to get the next season together? Because there's, if I remember right, there's kind of a gap between seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I don't know.
So it's going to be called how quick of a turnaround will they have?
Well, we have to establish when they're going to start releasing Mando season 4, or talks about season 4, if they're even still in plan, if they're even thinking about or planning season 4, because obviously they're still doing season 3. But I'm assuming with Mando, it's been shot. Season 3 is done, right?
See an announcement. I've been kind of laying low for today because they're April 1st and all.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to look.
I'm a little wary of any kind of announcements going on right now.
Yeah.
At least for that might have been dropped today.
Oh, no, but yeah.
That's I'm not buying that.
What?
Saying George R.R. Martin is writing season 3.
Of what?
If he's in the right chat, he's talking about Bad Batch.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got him?
Today I kind of do. That's just because of the weirdness of today. Brandon, the guy in the Bacta tank isn't a clone, but a one-armed Sephiroth Jedi wearing High Republic robes. Also, Jedi Survivor got delayed to April 28th.
Well, what he was playing then? Was there a beta out?
Not that I'm aware of, unless he's playing the first Fallen Order.
I don't know. I thought it was a new one, but no, because of Jedi Survivor.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know anything.
I don't know.
Don't ask, don't tell. Not know. Sorry. So sorry.
I'm just.
Do we start with Mando now?
Yes, we'll go into Mando now. Chapter 21, The Pirate. And you know what? Just for everybody here right now, I will play this again.
I need that as my ringtone.
The little squeaks every so often.
I need it.
Yep. All right, Mando. Here comes the pain. Swamp Thing Pirate is back.
Oh joy.
We, as my brother and I were even watching it, we noticed something especially really just laughable. The Swamp Thing Pirate, when he was talking, his mouth was completely out of sync.
It's like an old Godzilla movie.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's like I could have sworn they had or owned, or at least the Disney side owned the Jim Henson Company. Last I knew, they were still kind of around to a capacity, but maybe not. Maybe they were completely dissolved. I don't know, but it's just like part of my note was just like, man, the mouth movement is really off. Clearly, they don't have a proper company handling that anymore.
Yeah.
And of course, we had some first shot references.
Oh gosh. Yes,
and what is laughable about this too is that the city had 0 defenses. 0 city defenses that they should have already kind of, taken into consideration, considering the Imperial remnant, or even, general retaliatory strikes or attacks could happen, considering they're an Outer Rim location, and we know the Outer Rim can already be the Wild West. So why weren't you already protecting your town? It was a head scratcher for me on that one. But yeah, Swamp Thing attacks the city. Grief Karga sends out the message to Pilot Miyagi. What's his face from Rebels? Oh yeah. So yeah, in the bar scene, and apparently there was 3. There was Dave Filoni, Deborah Chow, and who else was the other one? Rick Famuyiwa? I don't know. I can't really say the last name. I'm butchering that, but I don't care.
These bastards supposed to be on duty, and they're in a bar drinking, operating. Never mind.
They're not very professional. But then that's also where we get the Zeb cameo, which my brain.
Is that the big stupid purple looking guy?
Yeah.
From Fallen Order, or maybe not Fallen Order. Who?
Not from Fallen Order, but now they are. That it was again, like you said, like you brought up earlier, Ralph McCurry concept art being used for a. No, Zeb is from the Star Wars Rebels.
Oh yes.
They're Chewbacca basically. So yeah, that's where we get that cameo. I didn't even realize that the other 3 were supposed to be in the bar. All I was just like, oh hey, it's Pilot Miyagi. Oh, big purple thing. And I was like, I had to like really listen for the voice. And I was like, oh, it is Zeb. Because Stephen Bloom only has like one range of voice. Remember, this is all the result of the pirates wanting to be served beer in a school. They were going to attack Grief because they didn't know their favorite bar has been in a school for over 2 years. A little late to the party, right?
Yeah.
It certainly took their time to finally come back and be like, hey, our favorite watering hole. It's been turned into a school. We don't care. Give us our booze. Again, like I said, how is it that he wasn't taking precautions? What too busy with the mayorship life or whatever? Offering Mando some land.
Yeah.
Some real estate. He's become a real estate mogul and everything. And so then they drop that bit of information of Gideon never making it to trial for 2 years. So what? Again, for 2 years he never made it to trial. What? Huh? Huh?
I'm just really pissed that they're like he shot first. Like,
well, it's just further going. It's just further going to like yes. The New Republic has become Empire 2.0. And it was how the old Republic operated to not paying attention to the Outer Rim. And it's like, oh, and the whole little scene on Coruscant again was just reaffirming that yes, we are moving towards the sequel trilogy. This was no secret, we know. And then after all of that, after he's trying to, get support and help or whatever, because of the stupid R5 droid, somehow he is then able to track that stupid thing, even though it was in the hands of the Jawa fucker, but manages to then, the droid was still the same.
Do you want to know something funny?
For him to then magically find their little location. Like, what the hell?
You know what's funny?
What's that?
So, and then the bar, the alien that's serving him their drinks, him and Zeb.
Yeah.
Did you not catch what she looked like?
No, and I'm gonna bring it up now because now I'm kind of curious. What? Go ahead and say what.
She's your favorite. I'll just say she's your favorite character on Tatooine.
Nuh-uh.
She looks like Peggy.
Oh God. Hang on, I'm trying to.
Yeah, you know.
I see it now.
It's literally Peggy and
It is the Jawa banger in a different form. I see it now. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Literally. We can't get rid of her.
No, we can't. Yes, 2 years for these pirates to even figure out that the whole bounty hunter guild got killed. Great job, John. What happened? That's like the whole. Oh.
I'm just more stoked.
Greg, why do you do this to me? Don't. There's enough inconsistencies with their shit as it is. 2 years and Muff Gideon didn't make from his ship in chapter 16 to Coruscant. Yep. Oh, 2 years. You muted yourself. No, but let me get back to kind of where I was at with this. It's just fun. Still, how the hell does he manage to find the Mandos hanging out in their dipshit cave? I mean, I know it's the R5 unit. Okay. But again, like it went through the hands of the Jawa banger.
This is what I don't understand though about the R5 unit. Like again,
yeah,
we're sat here wondering like, how did Peggy, whatever her name is, get the R5 unit? Like, it's like they paint the Empire really, really dumb, and they're trying to paint the Republic as somewhat
also really dumb.
Well, dumb, or just the fact that it's like, okay, like where did she get the R5 unit from? And did they intentionally sell the R5 unit to this girl? And was she some somehow complacent in this whole thing?
Ever the question, right?
Are they just trying to infiltrate or keep tabs on the Mandalorians? Or this guy who is just so stupid. And to like Greg's point, 2 years Mafia didn't make it from his ship to in chapter 16 to Coruscant.
Yeah.
And where's Gina? Wasn't Gina supposed to be transporting him?
That was what they mentioned in the first episode. So
This company is laughable. It's really just laughable to like one, your rendition of Swamp Thing is offensive to me as a DC fan. So one, like that's just, and then like they do, what's that show where the lip sync battle is on TV where they sing? It's on some, I don't know, but those people do better than this Swamp Thing.
Oh,
where they
easily.
sing songs. It's like the lip sync
Right.
yeah. The Script Trooper one time compared, he basically gave his opinion on the type of acting in Kenobi, but this is just like rom-com level, D level movie, just acting and just writing and all like this. This Tiva guy, Miyagi, Zeb is basically telling him that like, hey, good luck getting through the whatever. Their backlog says, well, if I go there, they can't refuse a meeting with me, and he goes, and then he's having the interaction with this guy who's doing the exact same thing as the dumb doctor from season 1 was doing. He going over that whatever, and so like he presents his case to him, and it's just terrible acting, terrible writing. Leave the writing aside, just the performance in itself in these episodes, but this one specifically is just bad.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
Yeah. Well, and it's just funny too. It's like back to the droid in R5. It's just like, and I think Greg mentioned this last night on the spacing. It's like, doesn't Mando have anybody else to go to for like mechanic work? I think it's like, why does he keep circling back to this fatty little thing on freaking Tatooine?
Because he now only trusts those droids that worked on Anakin's pod racer, I guess. I don't know.
Even though he had a big stigma against droids.
Well, IG changed that for him. Fractured, we all can change.
Indeed. Sorry, I just...
No, to your point, like, I just...
So Space Miyagi gave Jawa fucker R5 in the hopes that not only Dim Jughead would stop by again, but then also that he would need or want an astromech droid, right? Why not say that they low jacked his shitty ship? Yeah, that probably would have made a little more sense. Maybe I don't. I just kind of was like, are you what?
What episode is it? How many episodes are they doing? 7, 8?
8, I believe.
Again, and then further to this just is how wonderfully timed these episodes are. They bring in the whatever she is character from the 2 episodes ago. So like from the Amnesty Project. So why is she
her?
Why is she back in? Like, so again, like it's like
no, they're still trying to show that basically, she's infiltrated the Republic and she's clearly
but here's the thing, though,
made her place.
You have 8 episodes. It's like you have X amount of time to tell a story. Like you were confined to 8 episodes to tell a story, but you are so like, so I'm gonna go out tonight and I'm thinking I'm gonna do. Oh, look, squirrel! Right? So,
we've brought this up before.
It's like, oh man, like I really like this squirrel. Like, oh, sorry, like I gotta go back to about tonight, and then my cousin came over last week and was talking about that. So it's like you're telling, like you're supposed to tell one story, one story,
one coherent story, please.
But you're telling 9 different like stories under this main umbrella, and you don't have time to tell everything because you remember it's like, crap, I have to leave in 10 minutes. I need to tell you the rest of the story.
Right.
It's so.
No, it's very like schizophrenic. I guess I could say schizophrenic.
It's all over the place.
Yeah,
it's all over the place. We spent how many episodes did we spend with the doctor and then this girl? Was it 2 episodes or was it just 1?
one long episode.
Oh, that was the longest. It was like the 50. Might as well have been 2. My goodness. We spent that whole time with this Amnesty Project. The doctor's, dead or whatever, and then she comes back in.
Brain fried.
It's like now you have 2 more episodes to tie this together. So again, and with this episode, it's so flipping Pirates of the Caribbean. Like this shit, this coast. I know we're not there yet, but like, well, we're almost there because like he goes to he says no. They bunk off. He basically tracks the R5 to wherever they're at. I forget where.
Yeah,
they're at,
to their little
whatever
weird,
the thing. Then he's basically like, well, I'm not here, but I'm just telling you, but your friend's in trouble. Blah blah blah. They sit down. They have a meeting of the council, if you will, and is Favreau the big old dumb blue trooper? Doesn't he play that trooper?
I don't know.
I think they made a toy about him. That blue toy is Jon Favreau. I think Favreau plays that character. You should look it up.
I don't see him listed in the cast. Hang on.
Somebody told me that he played that character anyway. So like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see him listed in the credits. So
yeah. So anyway, so like Mando's giving his whole spiel, blah blah blah.
Yeah. Hang on. There were easier ways, and they chose the dumbest. Yep.
Right.
Hey, Sentinel. What's up, buddy?
Sentinel.
Continuity doesn't matter. Only emotional payoffs do. That's right. April Fools. Tuscan Bob. How does Officer Beefy go from in the rehab program to wandering around Fleet HQ? Yeah, especially for somebody that says she just got there, but I guess she's been there for 2 years. If we're going by their time skip logic, and this is again where we end up like head canoning more stuff in for them. In that my only rationale is that like she was there longer than the Doctor was, or at least previously, and wormed her way in and earned the Republic's trust, and now she's in there apparently, and gained enough trust. I don't know. It's his whole convenience, really. They just needed her around to be able to step in for that. Mandalorian is now Bo-Katan and Grogu show, guest starring Mando.
I
guess it had to happen eventually to Mando. He did it to Boba Fett, so it's only fair. Pedro shouldn't even be named in opening credits anymore. No, I'm sure at this point his voice can be AI generated, so I don't see the point.
He's getting paid for this show while he's doing Hot Ones with Sean Evans is what's happening. Or he's actually getting paid for doing he's getting paid for the show while he's doing Hot Ones with Sean Evans and doing The Last of Us. So I want to bring up something that's bugging me and has been bugging me. So obviously we know, like, it makes sense. Obviously, it doesn't, but I can at least qualify whatever why they brought the Inquisitors into Kenobi, right? In the show to search for Kenobi. If this Grogu, this is after however long after Order 66, and they know that Jedi's escaped, and if Grogu was the one Jedi that they were so apt to save, where the F is Vader?
Where was he? I don't know.
Where is he? If this Jedi, if they're so hell bent on like continuing,
Vader's dead by this point.
No, but what like?
Are you meaning for the flashback?
The flashback.
I don't know. For all intents and purposes, as far as we know, they got away scot-clean, but until that gets revealed differently,
I think that's the biggest thing that like bugged me is like, obviously Vader's dead at this point in time, but like the flashback, like if you're gonna,
they just seem to be really using those flashbacks very sparingly. Like they're trying not to like give away too much about Grogu. It seems just little bits here and there.
Anyways, but yeah, so they're doing this meeting around the campfire, waiting.
Yeah,
for
with
now every time
Jughead is making his case to the whole.
Can I also say something that every time I see, and I blame Greg, because every time I see a fire, I now think of Greg opening Dance Around the Campfire with the Tuscans. So thank you so much, Greg. Shout out to you. Every time I see a campfire, that just plays in my head.
Yep, the chanting and everything. Yep.
What a great intro. Anyway, so he's pleading this case, and then Tars Vizsla, who I want to say something, you know.
Yeah, and you know what? It was really weak. I mean, what would have been much better is if he actually took the true Mando approach of wanting to go in for the glory of battle and destruction. And then like off to the side is kind of like, and we'll do it for the future. Yada, yada. But it was like, why not give a more rallying speech? I'm gonna recap the last episode. That's why we should go and do this. So with my recap, now let's go and do it.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, dude, that was so weak.
And that's why I put like you did Cander's dirty. Or whatever I put. Because it's like we're gonna do it for my I stand with him because he saved my son, and I stand with Bo.
Like, Bo brighter future. Yeah. All right.
It's like, ugh, goodness gracious, these are not the Mandalorians of canon.
These are not the Mandalorians you're looking for.
This is the way, and then they go and.
Yeah, and then they all decide, all right, let's go because we can get a track of land, because that was part of Jughead's bargaining chip was, hey, we could stop. Yeah, even though they could technically go back to freaking Mandalore and try and reclaim the planet, rebuild whatever.
But they're gonna,
I'm sure Star Wars has terraforming technology, right?
Yeah, I mean,
some,
calls on.
No, if you're in the chat, you could probably say to this. You got some good EU knowledge. I mean, there's probably terraforming. They could go back to that planet and try and revitalize it to some degree.
Or just.
But hey, let's go to Lava Tatooine and take up that land that Karga offered.
Mm-hmm.
Because then that way we truly won't be hiding anymore. But you didn't have. You stupid bunch of retarded.
Well, to your point, why didn't Din Jarhead and Bo even say that like Mandalore's like it's breathable?
Yeah,
like,
we could. It's breathable. It's not.
You would think because she's so
toxic
on trying to tell everybody about the mythosaur.
I'm gonna get to that, but so they go into battle basically. Now the question becomes too, as they're doing all their fighting and crap like that in the city streets, one of them shouts out, "We're getting boxed in."
Okay, so
dumbass, you have a jetpack. How do you get boxed in when you have a jetpack?
This is the most ridiculous. I had so many issues with this scene because I am not an EU expert, right? But I have always like reading the commando books and everything. My understanding is like they're very tactical, right? Their mercenaries are tactical. Their proficiency in combat. There was nothing proficient about this fight scene. Like to get bought, like so, like you have people on the ground. Where's your snipers? Why don't you have coverage from above? Why don't you have men up on the on some of these roofs covering your six, scouting? Like you're just going in, infiltrating on the bottom. Like you're not tactical at all. And to your point, we're getting boxed in. You have a flipping jetpack. When Boba Fett almost got slashed by Luke on the skiff, what did he do? He used his freaking jetpack.
Right.
Or, there's nothing that screams tactical about this fight scene. And then like they're they're getting shot and the fire intensifies, and so Jon Favreau comes in with his Gatling gun and starts clearing them out. And why is there no flipping blood in any Star Wars? Like,
No,
I'm gonna
they've
jump
been devoid of any
I'm
real.
going to jump 30 seconds or 45 seconds into this fight where like they put the big old gun on up top and they start shooting, and Beskar is the best plot armor because the dude gets smoked by this probably 50 cal and just he just gets knocked down. But the armor is up using her hammer and her pliers.
Oh God, this dumbest. How did she manages to sneak? Well, hang on, I think did I have it into my? Oh yeah, I was like, what? How did she get through and into the fortified base like that? Then she uses her hammer and her like tong things to take out all these guys who managed to not notice this at all. I get the guy on the gunner is maybe a little preoccupied with shooting people, but you had the rest of the pirates in that room and they noticed nothing.
But even then, she's throwing hammers and beating this guy. You think that I mean, is this blaster cannon so loud that he can't hear? And then she pulls a freaking. There's a scene out of Thor: The Dark World where she throws the hammer at the guy. And then she's hitting these guys, and then she smokes the guy in the face, and there's no blood. There's no blood.
No, there isn't. That's the funny thing. I didn't even take that into consideration. It's like at this point, I'm just so used to them not including it.
I hit you in the face with a hammer, you might have some blood coming out.
Just might, And
that's a small hammer. This thing is a massive hell. I don't even know what kind of hammer. But
don't even know. It's just
and there's nothing. Nothing.
Not a Zippo. No, the whole fight scene was just kind of like But then it was funny is like after all of that, they have some of those pirates, right? They have them like caught or whatever. Why keep them alive? They're pirates. Execute them.
Well, this is the other thing that's completely stupid, right? They're pirates. They're on this Corsair ship, cruiser, if you will, and they had a flipping. What do you even call it on a ship that the wheel, the helm, the what do you call it?
Oh,
the rudder.
Yeah, the I don't know. All I can say is the steering wheel.
You have a flipping steering wheel on this ship. Like, how dumb do you have to be riding to, like, it is laughable. Like that this guy that somebody even drew this up from a concept art perspective, and then it's laughable that Filoni and Favreau were like, "This is a good idea. I like this." The idea of just pirates.
So it's the helm. Yeah. Dumb. So apparently it's called the helm. So they had the helm. Had a helm on a spaceship
with no rudder,
which would only be able to technically take it left or right and not up or down because they showed no capabilities of that.
Look at the back of the ship. There's no rudder.
Well, and then
there's nothing. So what's the point of it? What's the point of it?
It was just
it managed to move the flaps.
It was just an aesthetic thing, and this was the point that on the spacing last night that they were making is that Filoni only likes to have things in that look cool or look maybe interesting.
Cool.
And this, no, it's not, but it's an aesthetic thing, and that's the only is to give that again. They're pirates, so they have pirate ship aesthetics to their ship as well. So they have the helm in there to further hammer that in. Not only was their dress look like that, but then and like you keep saying, like Pirates of the Caribbean tier stuff. Like that's what they are.
He flipping did it with season 2, episode 1 of Bad Batch, and this pirate guy looked like he had a peg leg.
He might as well have. Should have had a little.
And then
he could have had the Quakian monkey lizard as his parrot. Yeah.
And the guy, his first mate or whatever, had a flipping bandana on like a sailor. Like,
yep.
Yep.
They had it all going. They had it all.
He's got a bulldog pug as I don't know what alien race it is. I'm just calling it bulldog pug. I don't even know if it's an alien race, but it's just
that's basically what they are.
And he's even talking like was there any pirates in Star Wars? I don't know. Where's OG at? I don't know. Like why?
I don't know.
Were there pirates in Star Wars?
I mean, they haven't had pirates exactly. They've been like variations on the idea, but I mean, there's been more mercenaries or
that's what I mean.
Bounty hunters.
When you and I talk about pirates, we're talking about bounty hunters. We're talking about we're talking about like the Somali pirates that steal stuff, steal ships. That's the definition of a pirate, right? I'm not talking about it. May have come from that throughout the genealogy, but throughout the line, I think we have what is it?
History,
mythologized the pirate, right? But like this is just do you want to, are you trying to tell a Pirates of the Caribbean story, or you're trying to tell a Star Wars story?
They're telling their fan fiction stories. What they're doing.
I had so many just issues with this, and then
oh boy,
when one of the last ships or the second to last ship goes down, there's a Mandalorian on him. There's a Mandalorian on the ship.
I didn't notice that.
Yes, he's on the ship and is going down, and then he jetpacks off.
Oh.
And then the guy's like, he's above you, he's below you. I'm like, it's so bad.
Oh, dude.
It's so bad. He's like, sorry, Captain, this is where we part ways.
Oh,
Out of all of these, and then of course he's like, be careful, my friend. It's 10-1. I like those odds, which he said I think in season 1. That out of all these ships, not a single one of them landed a shot on Mando. Like I get he's a good pilot. I get he's a Mandalorian, and you got to learn how to pilot. But like, not a single shot on him. Not a single shot on Bo. Like, you are a better pilot than Anakin and Luke combined.
That's basically how they're presented as, yeah.
This whole and then they're so easily taking out. Oh, can we go back really quick to Bad Batch, the last episode?
What
how the F did Hunter take down that TIE fighter with his pistol?
Oh, his magical shot, yeah. That was something else.
Magic bullet theory. Yeah. That makes about as much sense as the magic bullet theory in regards to Kennedy's assassination. Third bullet theory, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Please tell me how that works, because here's the thing. So you're telling me that Hunter was able to take down this TIE fighter. We'll just, for lack of a better term, call it TIE fighter. I don't know the model of the ship. But you had for 2 clone troopers, 3 clone troopers, and Padme shooting down Dooku's ship in Attack of the Clones, and couldn't take him down. Well, they had shields. Okay, well, did this fighter not have shield capabilities?
Well, yeah, and you'd think for a ship that's meant to be in the vacuum of space and stuff like that, that would be pretty durable stuff. To be able to take a blast, just a regular pistol shot like that,
like the very side of it.
Yeah,
I just saw that, and I was like,
I don't know.
I saw that, and then the other thing I was gonna say is, like, with tech, like, instead of like just ripping off the cable, he just decides to shoot for, I guess, dramatic effect. But,
yeah, you gotta have the dramatic effect.
Anyways, but back to this.
Well, here, I just want to go through the chat really quick. Sentinel, I forgot, was the entire point of Anakin going with the 501st to the Jedi Temple in order to make sure no Jedi in the temple survive? Yeah, I think that was the point of having him there. Could be wrong. It seems like things have changed since then. There was a deleted scene in A New Hope where Vader is obsessed with capturing Ahsoka and Grogu, but nobody else in the Empire knows who he is talking about. It takes place just before the meeting where he chokes Admiral Mahdi. Oh, we'll have to dig that up someday. Navarro is a barren lava rock. Yeah, which makes no sense for why they would bother with state. I mean, I get it for the hub, I guess, for bounty hunters, but why else be there? It doesn't make any real sense. Again, it's aesthetics with them. Brandon, I was hoping Mando Season 3 would be a mix of the games Bounty Hunter and 1313 with a serious adventure of Din Djarin like Season 1. Well, even Season 1 was basically, from what I could tell too, is a repurposed Boba Fett style movie just turned into a full season show, and it was to the degree of what we were originally sold on what the show was going to be, but quickly went away as soon as Grogu came into the picture. We were bait and switched, man. Bait and switched. Mandalore is more hospitable than Navarro. Yeah, I'll have to agree with that. Slap to the side of the helmet took out a stormtrooper in Kenobi. Imagine if she had a hammer. Yeah, talk about a force to be reckoned with, man. But this is a show where sophisticated helmets with heads-up displays are made by a chick beating a sheet of metal. Yeah. With just a plain insides, like we noticed with Boba Fett. Just normal inside helmet. He could barely use a jetpack at the end of Chapter 8, but sure, he's a master fighter pilot because he's a Mandalorian. Yep. Hey, that's what he was doing those 2 years. He's taking some advanced courses in piloting.
Apparently.
That's what he was doing for those 2 years. Side of bounty hunting, taking some pilot training. Yeah, so they retake the town. Yay! And then there's a little private time with Botox Karen and the armorer.
Well, you don't, yeah.
Where Bo-Katan just gets the magical treatment of the century. All she had to do was tell this chick, "Hey, I saw the mythosaur. You can believe me, right?" Even though Mando had to go to Mandalore to take a bath, collect the water to prove he went there, but all Bo-Katan has to do is say, "Yeah, I saw it."
You
and
missed
this
the point,
chick who
though.
they just met each other practically, as far as we know. This was like their first real meeting, and she believes her, and it's like, "Oh, you can do whatever you want. You can wear your helmet. You don't have to wear your helmet. You are awesome. You get a special treatment."
I was wrong, and I need to apologize and eat crow. So I thought that Mando was going to be the one that replaces Boba, but I was wrong, and I think I could be reading into this. But do you remember in Return of the Jedi where Leia, she's in the Bosch helmet, and she basically throws Chewie over to Jabba and negotiating, and he brings out the thermal detonator, and it's like haha patron and whatnot. But then Boba turns over and he gives her the head nod. Did you see after Magistrate Karga basically gives them the land and everybody's thanking the Mandalorians, Bo does the exact same head nod towards him. So
You mean
I could be reading into
you mean just nodding her head?
just that it was the exact. It was almost an identical head nod to
Just
I could
nodding her head is now going to be a reference to Boba Fett nodding
I-
his head now.
I just no, not with that, but I find that there's a lot of I don't know, man. I just have a feeling that Bo-Katan is now going to be replacing will be like the new.
No, she's just being set up to be the new Mandalore. That's what they're trying to do. She's trying to be on this, like we've talked about. She's like, yeah. Greg's got reach.
Reach. I don't know. Probably. I just. Yeah.
I don't know. They're remember, like we've talked about in the previous episode. She's going on a whole like redemption tour, and she's doing it through like a religious rediscovery and stuff like that. That's basically what this is. What is basically amounted to. She's rediscovering her faith or her confidence in being able to lead again, and that's what this is. All this has been for is to set her up for that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I still think it's ridiculous that all she had to do was tell the armor, "Hey, I saw the mythosaur. So yeah, that's cool, right? Yeah, I totally believe you. And because of that, now I give you special permissions to remove your helmet, even though I sent Dim Jughead on a quest to take a bath, all to redeem himself in the eyes of Mandalorians, or in this Mandalorian cult, to rejoin us. Otherwise, he was an apostate, and we're telling him to piss off. But no, you're cool. You get the you totally get the special permissions, yo. I mean, how pissed off must some of those Mandalorians be right now? Like, really?
No, because this is the way.
Oh, this is the way. This is the way. But yeah, so yeah, Bo-Katan, she gets her special privileges. Meanwhile, Space Miyagi has discovered the Lambda shuttle that was apparently transporting Moff Gideon. And shocker, it's been destroyed out in space, and apparently it's been there for 2 years, give or take.
The best car.
Well, I was getting to that. I was like, so now somehow the Mandos are getting associated with the deaths of Republic troopers transporting Gideon and finding some Beskar embedded conveniently in the shuttle. Because I mean, Beskar is supposed to be really durable, right? So how is it somehow conveniently, I don't know, put into the ship? I mean, it just makes me kind of like, what the hell?
I don't know. Unless it's not Beskar, and this guy's an idiot and thinks it is Beskar.
Yeah, and again, this is probably me giving them too much credit, but it just seems a little like
here's the
maybe
thing,
they're
though.
being set up for some reason. I don't know.
If this was a New Republic shuttle,
Or for some reason
and
Bo-Katan has done this, I don't know.
Are you being legitimate?
Partly.
What is your theory, Star Wars theory?
I'm not trying to run any theories.
I'm asking. Because you bring up. It's an interesting point. Like, because Bo had this like we all know Bo wanted to rule Mandalore or whatever, and now she's just conveniently, ironically.
Well, and there has to be
being genuine, or she's not being genuine. She's either being genuine with it, and she's found this her newfound whatever, and is wanting to be by the side of dead Jughead, or it's all a ploy. She's kind of, so she set up somehow to intercept Gideon. She has given this. She's basically won, or given the facade of, or basically has won the trust of Din and the other Mandalorians, and her ultimate plan is to use the mythosaur to gain the armor support and Gideon, because Gideon never. Somebody told me that Gideon never lost. Well, technically, I heard that if Davioso said that if anybody still actually, if the Darksaber belongs to anybody, it still belongs to Maul, because Maul never lost it. Apparently, is what Davioso said. I don't know. I'm not an expert on Disney canon,
and yet Moff Gideon's been able to use it no problem,
right?
And
Davioso
was able to use it no problem. But just Dim Jughead.
Theory, in Davioso's theory is because Bo is secure in herself, and Dim has all this doubt.
Mental block, blah blah blah. Right. But again, it's supposedly this thing has been very selective on who is only able to wield it.
It's probably he referenced that the Darksaber is the elder one because Maul never lost it. Nobody beat Maul with it. Challenge.
But again, it
doesn't
matter though.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm not a Disney canon guy. I'm just telling you what the
I know.
Had said, and by that logic, if a challenge has to be made, nobody challenged Maul, and Maul never lost. So the Darksaber still belongs to Maul, and Maul is either, I don't know at this point in time if he's still alive, if he's dead, if he's running with Talon Card, or that guy who was supposedly supposed to be the Talon Card of freaking Solo or whatever.
No, the thing. So I saw somebody mention, I forgot where, I don't know if it was on Twitter or somewhere else, about the idea about Bo-Katan possibly being the one planting this. The thing that did just spring to mind is that this could also be the reason why we suddenly had that Imperial attack on her planet, because she might be the reason that Gideon is back out there, but then wanting to silence her to make sure that doesn't get out.
How would you not
the
know?
Empire
went public, how would you not know that one of your shuttles went down
for 2 years? I don't know.
Was there? I mean, if that's when Moff Gideon escaped, but you're telling me that no Mayday signal was hailed, and they didn't come looking for him. If Gideon didn't arrive, you don't think that, like, even if this is a covert mission to transport him, somebody knew the flight path that they would have had to have taken. Unless they're just being protective of that, and they didn't know, because he's a high Imperial official. Maybe they just were like, we don't want a flight path. You take whatever path you need, and when you get there, you get there. So I don't know, but I'm just saying, very convenient that how are you just now asking this? Like, Gideon, and this guy didn't even know that he's like, Gideon never made it. Like, what kind of hierarchy and operation are they running? Like, this guy's a Moff, right? In their own mind, he's a Moff,
right?
And was supposed to go to a tribunal. You think that they wouldn't be asking questions and investigating what if he didn't show up on time?
Right. No, that would have to be like precision timing and making sure everything was going correctly.
The stupid probe that came out, this R2 droid, is the dumbest thing ever.
Oh yeah, using its little little
R2,
thing.
Yes, it's just dumb. But so again, maybe she did. Maybe Bo did plant the whole, But again, that doesn't make any sense because
it still doesn't make any sense.
No, but based off their logic, if you have to win the Darksaber by combat, Maul never lost it. So why are you so focused on Gideon? Gideon had it. And Mando got it. He won it from Gideon, but where did Gideon get it from? So then I have to ask you the question.
Wait, God. You know what's really stupid?
What?
Ahsoka beat Maul.
So
if you're going off of
Davi also said
if you're going off, but if it
not necessarily beat, it has to be challenged. There has to be a challenge. That's what Davioso, I believe, said. So again,
why can't they just have the old Mandalorian helmet and the people had to earn that freaking helmet?
I don't know. So, but I'm just saying, like, you're probably a little bit more knowledgeable about because I think you said you watched Rebels. I haven't, so I don't know. But if they're going off that, if it has to be challenged, did Ahsoka challenge Maul when she beat Maul? And if not, then how did Gideon get it?
She beat Maul in the Clone Wars season 7, if I remember right.
For the Darksaber, and then how did Sabine
not for it directly, but basically, beat him in combat.
But where did Sabine get it? And when did Sabine give it to Bo? So there's all. It doesn't make it. Like I said, maybe I'm just stupid and I'm not.
It's been a long time since I watched Rebels, so I don't remember what went on.
Did Maul have it first, or did Sabine have it first? And if Sabine had it first and gave it to Bo, then how did Bo lose it? And how did
Maul got it in a season of Clone Wars, and then Sabine got it sometime during Rebels. I forget how or why.
So Maul had it first, and then Sabine got it. So it literally is the Elder Wand. Nobody has beaten the rifle.
But like I said, but if you're going off of that logic, oh
God, yeah.
That is, it doesn't even technically follow the Elder Wand lore, because even I just finished listening to the final Potter book, and because Potter defeated Draco in a prior, it basically changed hands to him indirectly.
No.
So that's why boldly.
But you can make the argument though, because it brings a curse upon. Like, I don't know, there was something that Armor said, like it brings a curse upon, and so like that's why I don't know, Mandalore fell or whatnot, or that's why Bo.
Because Sabine gave the Darksaber to Bo-Katan during the Rebels. I know that happened. And supposedly just because you give it to somebody automatically means doom will fall, apparently. But that could just be the mere freaking coincidence of dealing with the Empire. The Empire was like, we don't find you very useful right now. And thank God you aren't the true expanded universe Mandalorians, because you would have kicked our shit in.
Teeth in and taken our lunch and spent our lunch money. But yeah, it's also, to your point, it makes so much sense that like it's so stupid. She says, I believe that the Mythosaur was only in Legends. And I find it very interesting that she used the word Legends. Anyways, reach. That was a reach. I understand. Now that you said
who did Maul challenge? What happens if the Holder's ship crashes or another accident? That's just it. Like, Maul didn't challenge anyone either. He just, like, if I remember right, he just killed the guy who had it, or maybe I don't know if it's a direct challenge, but I know he just kind of hauled up as like, I'm taking over. Deal with it, bitches. And he killed the guy that had the Darksaber.
She's like Mythosaur's only. My whole belief is that the Mythosaur only, was in Legends, and then she's like, but you saw it, so I believe that you saw it
with no proof or evidence.
5 minutes prior, she was like, basically, then Jughead had to bring water in a tube and prove to her that he actually was on Mandalore, and so like it basically comes down to she's a female, and that's why it's okay. Apparently, I'm assuming is my understanding of it.
No, that's basically it.
It logically doesn't make sense. Like, you don't believe Din, but you believe her, and why is she special? Because she was a night owl and didn't walk the way, and now she does, and now she can.
I don't know. Their rules are so flimsy and retarded at this point. It's like, you guys don't make any sense at all. Zero.
Like, how many different flipping sects are there of Mandalorians?
Apparently a lot of them.
Like, yeah, you have your own family. You have your own, or I don't know if family is the right word, but you have your own, like, I don't know, crest, whatever. But like, apparently she's going to go out and bring them all back from exile, but I don't know how you're going to do that in 2 episodes.
I don't know either. How many episodes are we in?
5, so we have 2 more. Right?
I thought 3 more because they're doing 8.
Are they doing 8? I can't remember. I thought it was 7. Book of Boba was 7.
Let's see.
They're probably doing 8. It could be 8.
Guys, in Book of Buddy Fett, the Hammer Queen told Dim Jughead that it was Bo-Katan's fault for Mandalore's destruction for trying to cheat the Dorksaber system.
Yeah.
Literally, Mandalore was wrecked because Bo-Katan didn't legitimately have the dork saber, but now she's her buddy. Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. It just doesn't make it. She just has to say, "I saw the mythosaur," and oh, because you saw this mythosaur, that means something to us apparently. And yeah, she was given the dork saber, which I'm like, okay, I guess. It just doesn't make sense.
You need to play the don't ask questions, just consume product. And
yeah.
Don't ask questions, just consume product and then get excited for next product.
I mean,
I do think you have commands to be able to do that if you want to too.
Oh, I gotta figure out how to do that. I need to get a DJ board, but it doesn't make any sense. And again, here we are. We got another 2 episodes to tie this story together, and I don't know if obviously it's not. I mean, there's a lot more episodes, more than twice as many episodes than Bad Batch than Mando, but I still feel like there's filler episodes in this season compared to. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, we still have 3 episodes to go.
Okay, it's 8 then. Okay, well, I mean, yeah, still. So.
If Hammer Queen believes any of that bunk, she should hate Bo-Katan more than any other. By their own rules. I mean, that's what I was even pointing out with one of the earlier episodes. Like, their whole, by trying to hold them to their own system doesn't make any sense.
No. It's just this whole show, and
yeah, it has felt like we've basically the last episode, the whole hunting for the stupid kid who got snagged by the giant flying dinosaur was basically in of itself.
Don't talk about the families like that. They're now families. Don't be disrespectful. Mind your manners.
Oh yeah, the found.
So they're now families.
Batch.
Yes.
No, this has basically been some. And I get like the other episode before that, with the
didn't
doctor
you say?
And, go ahead.
Well, didn't you say that Boba was supposed to make another appearance?
I don't know. He might not. That might have just been some fan art or something that I saw that I thought was legit.
Yeah, you pulled up a poster.
Yeah, we did that last week, didn't we? I think it was just some fan art or something. I don't know if it's legitimate now. I think I even saw the comments on the stream and mentioned it. So,
yeah.
I mean, hey, hopefully not for Boba Fett's sake. He just wants to be playing second fiddle some more.
It's like, where does this go from here?
Well, 3 more episodes.
They're gonna
so
go back
I'm
to Tatooine, and Peggy's gonna somehow show up.
Well, we know we have some goofy scene with a droid bar, so we know that's coming up at some point.
Oh, did we miss that?
No, we didn't miss it, but it's coming up. I'm guessing because it was in the trailer.
Oh, to joy.
Didn't see them bring the birds to Navarro. We haven't seen them bring much of anything to Navarro. And yet, look at it. It's all built up and everything. I mean, I just wonder now, hey, will you guys actually install some defense systems to protect your own asses?
Probably not.
Probably not. Ay. This show.
So, out of this episode and the 2 Bad Batch episodes, what did you enjoy more? If you can even use the word enjoy. I'll tell you I think you already know my answer, but I think you already know my answer, but I'm curious to see what yours is. I think I know your answer, but
which one I tolerated more, basically? I don't
know.
I mean, I think just maybe just to say Bad Batch, just because I got my confirmation that I was correct about the clone lady. Otherwise, I mean, they're just both. All 3 episodes were just so not sad, but dull and boring.
But if you had to choose one,
And I
do it.
Do it. Man, you're putting me on the spot here. I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess I'll just go with the Bad Batch.
I figured. Man, it was just.
It was less criminally stupid than just a little bit less than Man.
A little bit less. Yeah, they're both. I'd say Bad Batch. Just, I mean, this was a really bad episode. I haven't been really any good episodes of Amanda, but this is by far just the worst. One, because of get some better tech with the whole your lips not being. There's the whole lips sinking thing in the beginning, and the whole he shot first, and just the acting and the bar scene. It's all bad. It's all level D. Michael Myers or some of these other movies have a better acting than. My goodness, some of Growing Pains has better acting than this.
Ooh, going back there.
It's just
no, that is a name I've not heard in some time.
So I gotta figure out else what we're gonna do since Bad Batch is technically over.
Well, we'll certainly be able to get to more topics now. That
I know, actually, more being able to get into some actual. I miss her articles, man. So next week, since we don't have to. Well, I don't know how long is the episode next week. They're not doing any other. Longer.
I don't think they're doing any longer episodes right now. I don't think.
Did we start something? Had to finish it.
No, we got everything all caught up.
Okay, I couldn't remember. But yeah, we'll see where it goes in the next 3 episodes. I
don't know how long the next one's meant to be.
Where do you go and figure that out? Because they only.
I know the last time I heard about this recent episode was it was dropped on Twitter. People were sharing it around. It's like, oh great, here we go. Especially for the 50-minute one. It's like, god dang.
Hey. I don't know. I almost do we just restart Bad Batch 2 and not finish Mando?
No. I'm not restarting.
I'm just joking. It'd be just bad. I'm curious to see. I didn't catch the spacing last night. Did they go over anything, Mando? Or?
No, they were kind of mostly. It's a lot of roasting Filoni, which was pretty hilarious.
Well, we need
and great. And they had these 2 gals. One, My Alibi, and I forgot the other gal's name. But they've done some really good analysis on Clone War episodes, and I remember finding their channel thanks to OG, I think. And I gotta take a look at more of their videos. I watched one and I was like, holy hell, they're really
good,
nailing this down.
We'll go back and catch the replay of the spacing because I always enjoy watching Filoni get roasted.
Yeah, it's some good stuff for sure.
Especially called out by George's daughter.
Yeah, that was a good moment. Yeah. Let's see. Going back a little bit, Brandon had said there were 3 things that made the Bad Batch season 2 watchable: Kevin Kiner's music, all the Crosshair episodes, and Emperor Palpatine's speech. Music, I'll say I didn't really notice anything really sticking out for me. But for me, Disney Lucasfilms soundtracks and stuff have been really piss poor, in my opinion. They don't have that same.
Well, you and I grew up in the era of Shadows of the Empire, and one of the most. Oh God, I'm sure I've said this before. I went and downloaded that. I have on my phone the soundtrack, and some of the Sheezor's Palace is probably my favorite.
Yeah, that's a great
song.
track.
I could listen to it for hours and not get tired of it. So, you just don't. That's another thing. Why is John Williams not doing any? If you're gonna,
he's old, dude.
He's still doing it though. He's still doing Indiana 5 music.
I heard. Yeah, I don't know.
Am I wrong? Is that not a thing? Did I hear it wrong?
There's been some news about possibly they've been pushing back or holding off on doing Indy 5.
Okay. Well, last time we talked, I think they were doing it because that was Kathleen's baby. So I don't know.
Neither do I. But yeah, no. For me, the music has been. But yeah, the Crosshair episodes were the better. And yeah, can't go wrong with some good old Palpatine jumping in there.
Wasn't forever.
And he said, "Have you guys seen Bad Batch season 2 finale? How it should have ended?" I think that's what that is. The he she. Video by Nicolas. No. Does a better job than the finale we got. Ouch.
How is it supposed to end?
I can only guess what they cooked up. I haven't watched the video, so I don't know.
For whatever reason, I thought they were doing 18 episodes and not 16.
Hey there, Emperor Doomsday. How's it going? It says, pretty sure John Williams said that he was done with Star Wars after the last sequel movie. I wouldn't blame him if that's true. Wouldn't blame him one bit.
Well, he's the one who came back. It's like, you chose to come back. I don't know. If it was me, here I say, I just do. It's so frustrated because it's like I don't know. Billy D came back. Harrison came back. So it's like
just to get killed.
Yeah. It's like I think, and that's the only reason why I think Harrison came back is like because damn it, George wouldn't kill me off, and Abrams has agreed to kill me off. So, and he's paying me X amount of millions of dollars to get killed. So why not? I don't know. It's like I don't know if you'd ever spite George. It was like, George never killed me, so I'm gonna come back just to get killed in the most anticlimactic way possible by your son.
That seems to be the reason for it.
I just get I don't know. I just get frustrated, and I know because I get I'm biased. But it's like I would never come back. Like if I worked for George, there's no amount of money you could pay me to come back and work for. Sorry, no, I didn't mean to say Furloney, but it came out Filoni. Seeing the kind of stuff that like he's done, like so when you work, and especially for these guys because they were with George for a long time, man. 4, 5, and 6 over the course. I mean, over the however many years it was, 30. I think Ian McDermott said 30 years, whatever it was. 40, whatever. I don't even know how many years it was. No, it wasn't 30, but it's probably because 70. I always get it wrong. 73.
Yeah.
And then when did Last Jedi came out? Or not? Oh my dear, I said Last Jedi. Return of the Jedi came out in. I don't know. He may have been talking about a cumulative from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That may have been what he was talking about. But regardless, you're with somebody, for 3 movies. Like you get to know this person, you get to know their writing style, you get to know how they direct and all this and that, and then for that person to be gone or no longer part of it, and then work for somebody else that has nothing to do with George or his writing style or whatnot. And every director is different, but like. You can't sit there and possibly tell me that there's any similarities between George and Filoni, whether it be thinking, writing, directing, whatnot. There's nothing there. It could be a biased comment, could be a subject. When I look at everything Filoni has done and everything that George has, there's nothing there. There's no comparison. Everything that Filoni has done is stupid. He's not done one singular good thing, in my opinion. Is that me being a harsh critic? No, it's just me telling you, like, I love George Lucas and everything that George created. And Filoni has not ever come close to that bar. For whatever reason.
He's had he's had his attempts at aping the style and stuff, but no, he doesn't have he doesn't bring the same.
And the only thing that Favreau does is bring the Marvel element to things. That's it.
That's very true. Yeah.
So, and Kennedy, like I said, there's no excuse. There's absolutely zero excuse. There is no excuse why Disney Star Wars should have been this much of a failure, because you had Kennedy, who was side by side with George for years.
Oh yeah,
years.
No, that's the funny thing. Like people have talked about. It's like, and I've brought this up. It's like, they had all the blueprints to do nothing but print money.
Literally.
All they had to do is spend decades pretty much adapting all the EU material, faithfully adapting it.
Literally.
And just, making movies and stuff out of all that content that you already had pre-built up.
This, with everything, to your point, with the amount of talent that they should have had, Kennedy, Filoni, the EU, books, books are the EU, but like everything that they had, everything. Would it have been bigger than anything that George created? I don't necessarily think so, but I think it could have been close or within the same ballpark.
It just would have been at a different effect.
I guess a different level. It would have been better, right? Because if you had like people, and I've heard so many people say, like, and you and I have had these conversations that, well, maybe not. I don't know if you and I did. Basically, the way that George wanted to go with like the midichlorians, I've heard people like that was stupid, like, because he wanted to do a whole. He had plans for
microverse and stuff like that. Which
again, I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't necessarily think it was intrigued. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say I wasn't intrigued, because out of everything George did, again, like, I don't think there's not anything I didn't like. But anyways, there's no excuse.
At least you can say for that, it would have been a consistent story that was being told.
Right.
And who knows what it would have actually turned out to be for all. I mean, I don't know. I can't say I've ever seen the scripts or anything or the treatments that he had lined up.
So,
and it could have changed during development. He's been known to change his mind on things and change things up.
Oh, for sure. But it's so stupid, because it's like you have everything. It's like you have all the answers in front of you to pass the test, and you refuse to use them because like you want your own answers.
Yeah.
So, and I just shame on, and it's like, Kennedy. It's like shame on you. Like you're running this thing, and it's buffoonery. It's
dumpster fire.
It's tomfoolery. What's going on there? You have lost sight of carrying what George, like, whatever he wanted to do, or carrying on whatever he wanted to do, like to push your own woke agenda. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, pretty much.
Disregard what I say, or disagree with what I say, whatever you want. But like, that's what it is. That's what it comes down to. I'm off my soapbox. I'm done.
I'm with you 100%, brother.
So next week, I'm excited. We'll do. We'll get back into articles.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything?
Just to finish up here. So Brandon said John Williams actually is doing the music for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. He corrected himself, and said he won't retire at 90 years old. Damn.
Man's out there grinding.
Hey, if you still got the passion for it, by all means. Yeah. So, jeez. So yeah, for next week we might be starting a little bit later than we have been, just because of scheduling and stuff like that. Might be more 3 or 3:30, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's going to suck. Notice how much his sequel trilogy scores suck. Yeah. And they've made a lot of excuses for it too. I heard for Force Awakens, It was, they were trying to keep everything so secretive and hush hush, so he didn't really get time to work on the soundtrack. And you know what? I think there might be some legitimacy to that. I also just think the directors had no idea how they really wanted the scores composed, and I think because George did, and he gave detail and gave instruction and stuff like that, it didn't turn out. George turned out was able to give notes and what he wanted for it, and it turned out, great. These people have no idea. They have no idea whatsoever, and so they don't know how to really give the direction of where they want the tone and everything for this music to be. So it just turns out, like the Sentinel saying, it's uninspired crap.
Yeah,
because he's uninspired by this crap, pretty much. And the material itself, the people behind it, they aren't giving good direction.
Yeah. 100%.
Anyway, so next week we might be starting just a little bit later than we have been. Thanks again to everybody that's popped in. Say what you will about the prequels, but his scores for them reflect what he thought about the footage and George's ideas. Yeah. And, still to this day, Revenge of the Sith, top tier. That soundtrack is just nothing but gold.
Yeah.
And next week I'll probably be doing some more gaming streams, so keep an eye out, especially on Rumble. I've been getting, like I said, some good views and everything on that site, so I can't say it's not a bad option. But keep an eye out. I'll probably be posting on Twitter when I go live. Otherwise, everybody, Sentinel, Brandon Tran, Emperor Doomsday, Tuscan Bob, Greg himself, thank you all for stopping in, chatting. And, hopefully you enjoyed the stream.
To have you guys.
Yeah, always a treat. We'll have to get you back on again, Greg, sometime. Corral you on. Otherwise, with that, folks, I will be saying goodbye, good night, good day, and also thanks to anybody that watches the replay. You have a good one. Bye-bye.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Yeah, I should have known from the very beginning. From what you said. Yeah, when the mega powers were formed. Yeah, what you were out for from the very beginning. Yeah, you were after what was mine. I remember what you said.
You can destroy the Emperor. Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Yeah, that one was rough. Those words right there. Yeah, I got stuck, but I swallowed it anyway. Didn't like the taste, but I swallowed it anyway, But I remember the time when there was a conquistador out of the ring. The one that's so jealous that he can't stand it, Yeah, you came in there with your poses, but you made a big idiot out of yourself, And speaking of idiot things, what about that stupid idea? Did you forget that one? Think back. That right there sealed your fate. That put the madness over the edge. But I'll tell you what felt even better, was in the dressing room, in the first aid room. Me being unselfish, said go ahead, do the thing, You won't steal my thunder, no. When you take a look at the madness's eyes, all you're gonna see is complete and utter rage.